Houston and New England in that conference title game. Teddy Bruschi told Drake Maye on Sunday Countdown, "The cold is our superpower. When it snows, we don't lose." First quarter, no score. Pats 4th and 1 plus territory. Maye throws a dart to Pop Douglas. Much of Foxborough well hydrated at this point, and they are ecstatic in 7-0 to the home team. Minute left in the first, it's 7-3. Maye, ball security was a concern. Coming in, it gets punched out. Azeez Al-Shire falls on the ball for the Texans at the plus 27. Great field position. An ensuing drive into the second quarter. Texans went 6 plays. Stroud to Christian Kirk. Terrific adjustment. I'm standing about 7 feet away. Stroud's lone touchdown pass made it 10-7. Like the Shaq meme hiding behind a tree. 2 minutes later, Stroud hit as he throws, picked off by Marcus Jones. Lethal in the return game. Normally that's kickoffs and punts. Turns out interceptions as well. 26-yard pick six. First for the Pats since Asante Samuel back in the 2006 AFC title game. Pats up 14-10. Next Houston drive was also an interception. 3 minutes left in the half. Check out the hands. Stephon Diggs pulls this in. That's why they brought him to New England, that veteran presence and clutch in the playoffs here. It's 21-10. Houston trying to chisel away before the half. They're at midfield. Stroud's looking for Xavier Hutchinson, but gets picked again. Carlton Davis. Great footwork by him. Davis had no interceptions coming in. He had 2 in this game. Stroud, 4 interceptions in the first half. Nobody since the merger has had more in the first half. Texans down 21-10, but it's still a game in the third, 21-13. And Will Anderson, another loose ball. Maye had 4 fumbles on the day, lost 2 of them. Al-Shire's second recovery. Great field position for the Texans, but ensuing drive. Woody Marks can't hold on to it. There were 8 combined turnovers in this game. Rookie Craig Woodson falls on this one. Neither offense could do anything. I mean, you got both head coaches who were linebackers. What do you expect? It's 21-16 after 3. But the fourth quarter, here's the play of the day. Maye, I found you, Mr. Booty. Kayshon Boutte, an insane catch with one hand. He had a game-high 75 receiving yards. Pats are up 28-16. I don't know how he pulled it in or held onto it with the snowflakes falling in his eyes, but that was more than the defense would need as they put it away. Khyiris Tonga pulls down C.J. Stroud, one of 3 sacks for the defense on the day. Houston decides to punt here. Only had 1 timeout left, down 2 scores. New England was happy to play the clock game. With a minute left, Houston still got to score twice, and in fact, down 12. Needs to get to the end zone twice. 4th down, Stroud just 20 of 47. That is not one of the 20. Incomplete pass. Patriots win, and Mike Vrabel thrilled to have a work trip next week to Denver.
Okay, I can't wait to tell people I get to coach the Patriots. Okay, I get to coach you guys. Okay, on Sundays. It's an honor and a privilege to watch you go out there and compete. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. I appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, we needed to play. Booty went downtown. Booty.
Yeah, I think not satisfied means we're back on the road. Back on the road in the AFC Championship game. I mean, that kind of speaks for itself. So I'm just trying to, enjoy these playoff wins. I think in the regular season, when you come up with wins, you feel like you can play better. You kind of have this, down mentality, and just know that we made enough plays tonight. And obviously, I wish I had some plays back, but that's part of it. That's part of playing good teams in the playoffs. And proud of these guys for how we played. Keeps on being a defense picking us up when we need to. And
I think we're one of those teams that play better with a chip on our shoulder when everybody kind of counted us out. I think it was a handful of commentators and people, the little tidbits that I do see, because I try not to see it too much, they all pick Houston to win. I mean, for a good reason, and that's a good football team, and I understand their vantage point. All we can do is come in and work hard during the week and put ourselves in the best position to win the game.
So a few offensive voices there getting the post-game platform, but this was the best showing by a Patriot defense. I don't know, Battle of Sullivan's Island? These Patriots forced 5 Texans turnovers Sunday, the most takeaways for New England in the playoffs since the 2003 AFC title game against Indy, which also had snow. Meanwhile, for Houston, heartbreak.
I just feel like I let people down, and not happy with that, and it hurts, and I'm not, naive to it. I didn't play my best this year, but I'm gonna, respond. I'm gonna, keep my chest up, you know, my chin up high, and I'm going to just keep battling forward. You know, I try my best to forget successes and failures, regardless of, you know, what it is in that specific season. I'm going to learn from this, and I'm going to move on. I'll be better, and, you know, I'm going to be back.
No, CJ's our guy. I believe that he could come back out in the second half and flip it. I believe that he could play better. And he did that in the second half. He did play better. We had some positive drives. You know, CJ has done a lot of great things throughout this entire year. I know CJ. Like, I got your back. And that's what I told him at halftime. This whole team has your back. Like, we're in this thing together. It's not a magical elixir that's going to happen to get past a divisional round. It's still football. And you got to go out and you got to execute football really well in these moments, and we have not done that.
As promised, Tim Hasselbeck hasn't gone anywhere. Tim, you know, not every pick falls on the quarterback.
Sure.
But C.J. Stroud had 4 before halftime.
Yeah.
You played this position. How much of those 4 picks are on Stroud, and how much is just forced errors by the Patriots defense?
Yeah, here's what I would say about it. You know, that Peyton Manning quote, you know, every interception has its own story, and that's definitely the case. Look, I think it's fair to say the environments, the elements were tough. The defense was tough. You know, New England up front is really good. You're going to see, you know, how the pocket throughout the night just was getting collapsed. Like, so that's tough sledding for any quarterback. This is 2 consecutive plays, you know, on the same drive that we're going to see the pocket just shrink on the quarterback. And so that's tough sledding for anybody. And then you throw in the elements. That's a problem. Then I think there are other things. So, and this is a good example of some of it's the defense. It's getting man coverage. The inside linebacker is going to have a new number 3 because Harrison Bryant is going to slice across the formation. But Milton Williams drives the left tackle back into the backfield, knocks off the slicer, and then when that happens, Chason, who really would have to be worrying about trying to spill or wrong arm that, now he can get up the field and he's in the face of C.J. Stroud. Well, now at this point, okay, so that's the defense. They did that. Now, what's the quarterback's job? Well, the quarterback's job is not to make a bad situation worse, which is exactly what happened. So, Phil, it's a long way for me to say, look, it was all 3 things for C.J. Stroud, which is why it was, you know, such a mess throughout the game. And quite frankly, there really were very few bright spots, you know, like first or second half. You know, a few in the second half, but for the most part, it was uphill sledding the entire game.
And all your examples there showed Stroud under pressure. When he was pressured, 3 for 15 for 30 yards and 2 picks, including the pick 6.
No question. Look, on the other side of this, though, Drake Maye largely unbothered by both the weather and the Texas defense. What did you see from a positive standpoint from the young buck?
You know, it's interesting. You can just hear the tone of him talking after the game. Feels like he could have played better. Did a lot of good things. We're going to look at his first touchdown pass. You know, they motion pre-snap to give you a good look. You saw Drake Maye right there. You know, he had his hand out. He's saying, look, here's how we're going to block this. He actually made a Linda call. You could hear it on the broadcast. Going to slide the offensive line left. So these 5, the offensive linemen, it's a 5-man protection, have those 5. That's what we got. So if you have any second level pressure that comes from over here, you have to throw hot. Not a big deal because the back is going to be in the flat. That's who he's going to throw hot to. So as this ball is snapped, guess what we get? We get that pressure from right there. But Petrie is the guy who was coming. He kind of comes and then settles his feet. So now as you play this a little bit forward, you know, Maye's getting ready to throw this. You see his eyes. He's getting ready to throw this right now. But what you have is a driving defender on the flat, and then Petrie, who settled his feet, is kind of standing right in the throwing lane. So now watch what Maye does. It's really remarkable. To reset his feet, he's got an inside slant right here, but because he's a little late to it because he wanted to throw the hot, he's got a defender driving on it. At his size, to kind of reset and then make an accurate throw, you know, being a little bit late, that's remarkable football. You can't do it any better than he did it there. They blitzed your protection. Then they kind of had a reaction and fooled you on it. It was really incredible. Now, the disappointment I think you hear in his voice after the game is some of this stuff, because you saw it against the Chargers as well. I don't care if Jarrett Stidham's starting or who's starting. If you turn the football over on the road in the playoffs, it is hard to win. And so I think that, you know, they talk about the chip on the shoulders. You heard Stephon Diggs talking about it. Like, I don't know that that's a bad thing, because to win 2 playoff games when your quarterback, who's an MVP candidate, didn't play his best, I think that's a pretty good sign for your football team.
Not to mention they got Cardi B rooting for him, so I think everybody's in a good spot, frankly, for the Pats.
Hey, coming up on SportsCenter, we've got more from the NFC Championship, a report from Chicago on the Rams' upcoming rubber match against the Seahawks. That's next on SportsCenter. Plus, college football's down to 2 teams. Miami's dealing with some last-minute decisions before Monday's title game, while IU's already feeling the Canes' home field advantage. We'll explain next on SportsCenter.